I know there's a lot of content out there from big YouTubers, but I actually find it really interesting to learn from smaller channels, people just a few steps ahead. It feels more accessible. People with maybe 1,000, 5,000 or even 10,000 subscribers. So today I'm going to give you an honest breakdown of my journey on YouTube after 100 days. I'll share my advice, lessons, tips and tricks. So stick around to the end because I'll share the one thing that really did change everything for me. Hi, I'm Maggie and this is part one of a two-part series. Let's dive in. I've currently got, oh my God. As of the time of filming this video, I've got 835 subscribers and I feel really grateful about that. I know that that's actually quite a lot for 100 days or 3 months or whatever I am. Of course, there's the other side of things where their channels just completely blow up really quickly. Which brings me to my next point. It's really important to understand that we're not all starting from the same spot, and that's in this game of life, but it's also in the YouTube game. Some people have what's called the unfair advantage. I first heard about this from Ali Abdaal. He talks about it a lot, and he's referring to the book, The Unfair Advantage, How You Already Have What It Takes to Succeed by Ash Ali and Hassan Kuba. So if you start off with a great unfair advantage, amazing tech skills, a brilliant personality, or as some say, if you're particularly attractive, that can help. I personally believe that looks don't really matter that much. Maybe they do a little, they might get someone to click on your thumbnail, but ultimately it's not going to keep viewers there. At the end of the day, I think it depends on your heart and what you're offering and what value you're giving that's going to keep people coming back to your channel. If I had to break down my unfair advantage, that would be that I'm a podiatrist. That's pretty niche. I've also been running my own successful business for over 20 years. Plus, I'm a woman over 45, I'm an actor. All these things can contribute to my unfair advantage. But fortunately and unfortunately for me, those things don't light me up. What really does light me up is spirituality, personal development. And yes, I am a life coach. I'm a fully qualified life coach accredited with the ICF, although that's not really a niche. There are lots and lots of coaches out there. Some people would have advised me to incorporate podiatry as a point of difference, but as I said, it doesn't light me up and I would rather focus on the things that I really love to do. But I do draw on podiatry examples occasionally when I feel like they work for what I'm talking about. When I was tracking my monetization journey on a weekly, I thought there was a kid now. When I was tracking my monetization journey more closely, like weekly videos, I was struggling sometimes to get the video out, and there was a couple of times I took the camera with me to work, and one in particular, I incorporated podiatry quite heavily into that day, which a lot of people said they found really interesting. So I might do that a little bit more in the future, but it wouldn't be something I do all the time. I want my channel to be about what I love to do. And I think to sustain this long term, that is essential. It's non-negotiable. So let's rewind a bit. When I first started this channel, it was not because I had a ton of time on my hands. I wasn't like really free and like, oh, let me just fill in my time with YouTube. That's not how it was. I was already super busy, full-time podiatrist, running my own practice, commuting an hour to work, an hour from work, a whole ton of other commitments. I say this because you might be thinking that you don't have enough time to do YouTube, and that might be actually true, but don't let the fact that you're already busy now mean that you don't start the channel if that's what you really want to do, because if you never try it, you'll never ever know. And YouTube has given me so much. More to come on that later. When I first started, I knew very little about lighting, sound editing, thumbnails, etc. I learned so much so quickly. These 100 days on YouTube have been an incredible learning journey. Each video was a learning opportunity. At first, I thought my thumbnails were pretty good, but I quickly realized that it was very obvious that I was using Canva templates to make my thumbnails, which is completely fine, but do try and make them a little more original and research other people's thumbnails. That can really help you get fresh ideas. You can have the best video in the world, but if no one's clicking on it and watching it, what's the point? Seriously, the thumbnail is so tricky. Don't know what that was. I'm in the bush. Anything could happen at any time. Can we talk about one of the most exhilarating aspects of the YouTube journey? And that is when you click publish on your video, you've uploaded it, you've published it, and it's out into the world. That moment is like buying a lotto ticket. It's like, I could win. Anything could happen. Nothing might happen, but anything could happen. It's such a good moment. I can see why people celebrate the day that they publish their videos. It's that moment of pure potential where your video could go viral, or it could really touch someone deeply, or you could connect with someone. Like, it's beautiful. So as often as you're posting a video is as often as you get to experience this incredible, exhilarating moment. 2 to 3 times a week is ideal. The way I consume YouTube has completely changed. A lot of people recommended that you consume the style of content that you want to create, and I realized I'm not actually really following the kind of channels that I want to make. Back then I was consuming a lot of The Diary of a CEO and Andrew Huberman, so that led me down a bit of a rabbit hole trying to find channels that I enjoy watching and channels that I would like to emulate. I have talked in an earlier video about a couple of YouTube channels that really inspired me because they were older women, they weren't wearing makeup, and they were really successful channels, like hundreds of thousands of views. And although I admired these women and I enjoyed their content, it wasn't really the kind of content that I wanted to create. And then naturally, I organically found a few more channels that I really adore. Now, I watch my favorite YouTubers like I used to watch my favorite TV shows. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my 2 current favorite YouTubers. Number 1 is Taylor Bell. She is so fun. She's actually 27 from New York City, and she does vlog style videos, how-to videos, educational videos about her life in New York, about running her business, about being an entrepreneur. And she does do vlogs, which I love. She's so fun and self-deprecating, what is that word? Down to earth. I just love her videos, and I love New York. She really helped me relax and be okay with letting my silliness and my goofiness out a bit more. I'm also learning from her editing style. She does all her own editing and often goes to coffee shops to edit, which I just love doing that. I love working in cafes on my laptop, so we have that in common. My second favorite YouTuber is Tika. Tika is a little bit closer to my niche than Taylor. She's more productivity and wellness and entrepreneurship and a little less on the spirituality. I love Tika because she's really down to earth, she has great tips, and her videos are really well thought out. Tika's from Malaysia and she moved to Australia a year ago, and she's living in my hometown of Melbourne, so seeing my city through her eyes is great. I can hear something. Maybe there's a deer. Oh, it's probably an echidna actually. So what really surprised me was getting the first 200 subscribers was actually the hardest part of the whole journey. It was like pushing a boulder up a hill. Every single subscriber felt like a huge win, and it still does, but back then it might be 1 subscriber a week or maybe 2, that kind of thing. And now I generally get at least 1 new subscriber every day, sometimes 10. Like, the fascinating thing is once you hit that 200 subscriber mark, something shifts. I did hear other creators talk about this, but I didn't quite believe them, or I didn't have the experience to really understand what they were saying. Now I do, so believe me, it's true. It's like crossing some invisible threshold, and now the growth becomes way more organic and just much more effortless. People start finding your channel organically through the algorithm. Your videos are suggested to them. YouTube starts recommending your videos and putting them in people's feeds so they can see you. And suddenly you're not just sharing with friends and family anymore. So those first 200 subscribers are absolutely foundational, and they're actually pretty special because they're the people that believed in you before you had a big channel or more people to kind of back you up, sort of thing. They're people that took a chance on you. If you think about how many times have you subscribed to someone who's only got 7 subscribers or 35 subscribers? I do that in response to people subscribing to me because I want to support them. But it is pretty rare if you're looking on YouTube to find a channel that's really, really small that you subscribe to. So seriously, really cherish those early subscribers, and I cherish all of you watching and all of you who have already subscribed, and now's probably a good moment to ask you to subscribe if you haven't already. All right, now for the moment that changed absolutely everything for me. 7 weeks ago, I created a video called YouTube has absolutely changed my life in 4 weeks and under 200 subscribers. The results were absolutely mind-blowing. That video now currently has over 7.8 thousand views. I'm still getting new views every day, between 2 and 5 views per hour. And As of the time of recording, I gained 451 subscribers from that video alone. So over half of my subscribers have come from one video. Every time I look at the views per hour and see that that video is still ticking over, honestly, I'm so grateful for that video. It is the gift that keeps on giving. I look at other people's channels because I've got vidIQ. I can see how many views per hour other people are getting on their videos, and sometimes they're getting like 10,000 views per hour, and it just seems like wild to me. So while that video performed really, really well, it did create a lot of new learning for me. Like, I came up against some stuff because that video did so well, which I'll talk about in my next video about the reality of YouTube success. That viral video where I talk about everything I've learnt is still valid for me now, so if you want to watch that, you can check that out here. See you in the next video. Now I'm going to see if that echidna is there.